Hello, welcome back to episode 11. Right, this is crazy.
Yes.
We hit the double digits last week. It's like almost 3 months now we've been going for worth of content.
Yeah.
Actually mental. Welcome back to this week's episode. I'm your host for today, Scott. I am joined by the lovely Lee and Costa on my left. How you boys been? You've been good?
All good, yeah. All good, mate.
Been good in the hood.
All good in the hood, yes.
In all
yes.
of the hoods. Yes.
We've been
very good.
We were rambling on just before the episode started, as normal, and we wanted to try and save it for the pod, because we can. Yeah, we got some spicy topics this week to talk about. I think the main one being the kind of quite big news. I would say it's big news anyway. Is that Pokemon has banned the sale of graded slabs official events. For those of you that don't know, for a long period of time, Pokemon always lets vendors come in now, which I think is cool. To have some vendors, you can buy a product if you're lucky enough to be able to get some. But graded slabs are obviously worth a lot more, and I think they're trying their best to discourage the sale of high value cards in amongst, I think, loads of different companies and stores, and they're trying to really crack down on sort of on the scalping and stuff. And this is, I think, part of it's a really good step in the right direction. Poker Beach wrote an article about it, which I can bring up now.
Isn't it Pokemon Center products as well?
Yes.
Sold? So that'd be like ETBs and things like
Japanese
that,
Pokemon
right?
Center products specifically.
Oh, okay.
So this article says, we've learned that TCPI is no longer allowing partner vendors to sell graded slabs at events. This is not a public announcement, so don't expect one, but this is basically what they've heard on the grapevine. We've learned that vendors are barred from selling items over $1,000 and or most products from Japan, including the Japanese Pokemon Center, including plushies and TCG items.
Wow.
Which is a big one, because like a lot of people, I mean, a lot of Japanese players, when they come to like EUIC and stuff, it's a bit different because they are Japanese and they're bringing Japanese product, but I've seen them bring Japanese product over and essentially fund their entire trip because they're worth so much.
Yeah.
And I was talking to you guys just about, I'd read this article just before we sort of dove into the podcast, and it was getting me. I think anger is a stupid emotion, but I was feeling it when I was reading some of this article, and sort of like, we know scalping's been a problem for a while now. We did the sort of catch up episode recently with me and Lee, where we spoke about the sort of current state of the collecting and the card market and how bad scalping is, and like there seems to be quite a big crackdown, at least from like from the vendors in the UK. We're starting to notice it, like Argos. We mentioned last time on the last episode about Argos are now restricting to buying stuff in-app only, and Tesco's was talking about doing something similar and limiting to only one per person. I think we're slowly seeing a shift because it has got so bad. Unfortunately, it had to get to this. It shouldn't have had to got to this stage, but it's one of those things where it has to get bad before it can get better. And I feel like we're hopefully trending in the right direction.
It does feel like, and I think it's probably the correct scientific way of calling it, a scalping pandemic. Because that has spread across all different like countries, and it's just everywhere. It's essentially wherever there are cards and value and opportunity for scalping, they will take advantage of it.
Did I tell you?
It's not only just Pokemon, it's other franchises as well, but it so happens that Pokemon is one of the most rewarding. I think that was a point you were mentioning as well, Scott, with the 11-year-old entrepreneur.
Yeah. So there's a little mention here, little paragraphs. Basically, Poker Beach seem to have spoken to a lot of vendors at a show or an event. I can't remember. They don't say specifically what one is, but the one that sort of really kind of got to me was at about I spoke to an entrepreneurizing 11-year-old who'd taken over a booth and was selling cards. He said he'd been vending for the last year, bought Pokemon cards from vending machines at MSRP. When asked if he plays Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, he said no, he'd never watched the show. And then they then go on to say that he said, I just flip cards. I don't know much about Pokemon. And then he said that he learned about Pokemon investing from watching influencers open packs on TikTok and Instagram, calling Pokemon cards the best investment right now.
Spoken like a true businessman at the great age of 11 years old.
Which is hella depressing. That we've kind of got to that stage where, yeah, again we've said this many times on the pod that, fortunately, it has become. I don't know if more. I don't really go on social media that much, but I'd imagine, like this guy said, that there probably are a lot of people trying to sort of promote, saying that it's a good idea. Obviously, them, it kind of like feeds the same problem, right? It's almost like a pyramid scheme, right? Where they're like, oh yeah, Pokemon cards is a good time to invest. They get more people to invest, so their collection obviously becomes more valuable because the more people that suddenly want Pokemon cards, the more the value of stuff goes up.
Yeah.
So it's just like, it's just mega depressing, and
no pun intended, because Mega Evolution.
Yeah, it is, and I think that the thing that it kind of highlights is like might not be the majority of people that are like taking advantage now, because it is people taking advantage of the market, right? But the majority, it seems like the people that are doing this have zero love for this franchise or Pokemon in general, or interest in it even, right?
Well, they summed it up really well. They called it like the investor bro culture, basically, of people who are just like, yeah, it makes money, so I buy it, know nothing about the game.
Scalping those finest.
So,
what can you say to that? I mean, it is depressing, really. It's just like, and
it's not like you can try to limit it in a way, but, to saying you are only allowed to be a fan of this franchise to be doing X, Y, Z. It's like, no, well, freedom of speech.
It's one of those things where, like, I don't know, you have to just limit it to one per order, one per address, one per order. I don't know how effective that would work, but that's got to help to some extent, right?
VPN stuff, spoofing.
True, but I mean, it's a good start,
Yeah.
But I'm not being funny, but I'm saying if you did one per order, people have still got to like keep doing orders for one rather than like buying the maximum amount that you can allow on the website. I don't know if the bots or the trading things can already get around that. I'm sure they probably can, but at least it helps people. Like, I've seen it before. Like, I've seen listings on eBay before where someone's gone like, oh yeah, bought these all from Very, and they've got a fucking stack of 100. I'm like, how the fuck have you managed to buy? Why have you been allowed to buy 100 of the one thing?
Yeah,
like, just shouldn't be allowed.
It's a mistake, mate.
But what we were saying about the pandemic around the world, about this scalping pandemic. Not necessarily, this isn't necessarily an example of it, but like just the example of how powerful collecting has become. So for a long time, well, obviously you boys know this, like I very much love South Korea. I've talked about it for a long time, and collecting a cheaper way to collect cards, or at least if you wanted certain cards, didn't care about the language. For a long time, was like, oh, you go for the Japanese. It was Japanese for a long time, but then people started, that went up in value. Then it kind of went to Korean and Chinese packs, but then they're slowly now increasing. And I think the other day they did a like special promo in Korea, and the fucking scenes, I saw it on Instagram. The queues to try and get this promo were insane. I'm talking about like packed streets. This isn't a country that, as far as I'm aware, you pack streets just to get this fucking one promo card. Like, not even being able to like queues to get out of the tube station on this video that I saw. And then they showed clips of like stores that I'd been to. Like, there's a couple of, when I went to Seoul, like I found the ones that sold them. There's like a specific Pokemon card shop. It's really cool. They had like a decent amount of stock, and then they basically cut to a clip of like different stores, including that one that I'd been to, and they were like, yeah, just like they've sold out of stock.
Wow.
So even in the places where it was easier, like way easier to obtain, it's like now suddenly become super unobtainable, which is just fucking annoying, to be honest with you. Because because obviously people want the English cards, right? The reason that English cards are worth money, and the reason why graded English cards are worth money, is because the print quality is lower. The Japanese, I don't think the Korean stuff from what I've opened hasn't been amazing, but the Japanese stuff is pretty much mint because the Japanese is just on it. So like if you have a Japanese card, like if you pull one, like most of the time the center is going to be good, the card's going to be pristine, whereas the quality in like Europe and the West is a lot lower. So being able to pull not only being able to pull a chase card like the Umbreon EX or the All Arts, whatever, it's also got to be like good centering. I mean, like when I was at Comic Con the other week, I was looking around, like obviously they fucking sell Pokemon cards everywhere there, and there's loads of dealers that had stuff, and they had some of the Van Gogh Pikachu cards. They had them in there. I think they were 700 each in the cellophane that they must have got, but like all of them, like the centering was fucked on all of them. And I'm like, there's no point in buying them because you're never going to be able to get a 10 on them. So yeah, it's just a shame. And like, there's another bit down here talking about the Japanese product. So apparently, Japan announced that they're going to start requiring government ID to purchase TCG products from Pokemon centers.
Wow.
In a move, it says a move expected to restrict booster boxes to Japanese residents, because I think, basically stop foreigners from buying up all the product. It seems like because they don't want people to sell them, because people will go to Japan, right, buy a load of stuff, bring it back, sell it. Which, you know, there are legitimate businesses that do that, which is fair enough. But like a lot of people just like I said, just flip and ship. Loads of people go to Japan to fucking buy stuff to bring home to sell.
I was going to say it's nothing new.
Cheaper. It's nothing new. No, but
and it's also not even restricted to cards as a product as a whole. This always used to happen back in the day, maybe even now with duty free. You know, like with cigarette packs, or you go to Australia, or like Australians go elsewhere because like the price for like a cigarette pack is like a liver's worth. Basically, it's that expensive in Australian dollars, and they would come to England for example, or like Greece when I was growing up. And they'd be like getting so much stuff because it was so cheap in comparison. So it's just another product. Unfortunately, it's obviously a product that is a lot more innocent facing and just for the joy and fun of things. But yeah, it's sad.
I do worry a little bit about, like, I think it's a really positive move for like residents of Japan that are like fans of the franchise that want to get product, and this will probably result in them being able to get the product, which is great, which is what you want, the fans to be able to get the product that you're selling, right?
Yep.
And then people not taking advantage and ripping other people off that want this. The problem is how much of that Japanese stock, because there are a lot of collectors in the West that collect solely Japanese cards, right? So does that put an extra premium because they're going to be even harder to get now outside of Japan, especially these promo cards and things like that, you know, Japan exclusive promo card? Is that going to then get an even bigger premium on it going forward, especially graded? Because this is not going to stop people grading cards, I don't think. This is just going to...
No, but I have a really kind of pessimistic counter argument to that. Is that like tough shit, basically? In the sense that like if this stops people from like, if this is what has to happen in order to stop people from like buying masses on bulk and then selling them for a like insanely unfair price abroad, you know, like if it only means that Japanese people can only get hold of Japanese cards and some make their way to the West, then like it is what it is. We get our own products. It's not like they're like saying no, you can't have any, because all they're selling is the Japanese version. I know they have their own exclusives and stuff, but then so do we. So then it's like, you know, it's not like it's not unfair. So
no, but it's sort of accepting that you're going to be taking down a greater evil for the sake of a smaller one, I guess. Or, you know, like a disadvantage.
Yeah, you're right. But like I said, it just is what it is. And as long as you can buy, if you can go to Japan, going to Japan still makes it like a pain in the life. Like it's another step, right? If the only way you can buy product is to go to a shop and show them your passport, and they're going to restrict you from doing it, which I'm sure the Japanese government will do a good job of actually enforcing, unlike I'd imagine our country does, then it should. It just adds that extra step that will stop people from doing it. I could be completely wrong, But at least this is somewhat of sort of my interpretation to what they're doing.
You could even slap an export fee on any
Yeah.
Pokemon cards coming out of Japan, and that would mean that, if you are like a true diehard collector, then you probably just have to kind of suck that up and you'd be like, well, at least I can still do it. If I go to Japan, I can still get the cards that I want. I just have to pay a bit more of a premium on it. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see how this all plays out. I think, the it's like, the sacrifice that you're gonna have to make in one respect is probably better for the environment of the
For the greater
community
good.
overall. Yeah, the great good. Yeah. Interestingly, I did send you a link just now, Scott, because there was Pokemon Center sporadically put product up on their site, and normally there's a queue, and if you're lucky, you can sometimes get in after a couple of hours of waiting. And if you do manage to get in, you can maybe order some product at MSRP. A lot of the time, the site has problems because there's just so much traffic, or you get in and it's already sold out. But they pulled something yesterday on there, which I was quite interested in because it's still available now. This is 24 hours later. They put Phantasmal Flames sleeve boosters up on the site, 2 per customer is the limit.
Okay.
And they're still there. The problem is with this is, and this might be something we see going forward, it doesn't hit the free postage. So you're getting, if you're buying just 2 boosters from here, then you're getting slapped with a £5 postage charge, which is not ideal. But you can obviously bump that up, spend something, an extra £12 to make the £20.
I mean, realistically, they need to be doing this on the sealed product, not the individual booster packs. Because like you said, with the postage, they do that already.
Yeah, they do. Like, so there is a limit. You can only buy so much, but they only have so much of the bigger products. So that's the problem. And the Pokemon Center ETBs, because they have additional boosters in, they have extra stuff, and they have that Pokemon Center like stamp on them. It's put a premium on those that you can only buy through the Pokemon Center anyway. So there's only a limited number. And it is normally 2 per person.
But what's stopping you from creating different accounts or adding different addresses or whatever? Like, so you can just go ahead and do it. Like nothing.
I think the problem is most things.
I've heard people do that in the past, but all orders get cancelled. I think they're pretty good. I don't know. People might slip through the net, but I think a lot of times it's a gray area, right? Because you could have 2 people in your household, but not necessarily like, I could apartment share with someone and they might want the same product. They're getting it under a different name to the same address. How do they kind of
get around not being dealt as a scalper?
Yeah. So it's tough. It is really tough. It's almost to the point where it's like you have to show proof of ID per purchase, right? And that is like what it's like, almost getting to these extremes now with it all, where I mean, I was going through some of my collection because I collect on a side from the announcement that we'll get into in a minute. Prime cards, one of the things I've collected for years. And Prime cards, they've never been anything like fantastical or anything like gold stars or anything where people have been like, oh, these are amazing. I just love them because at the time Hot Gold Soul Silver set came out around 2010. I did a bit of playing TCG, collecting as well. And I just have a real soft spot for the Prime cards. They have cool artwork. They're really hard to grade because the quality back then was nuts. It was so bad. But I love them. And there's something I've just been chipping away at over the years. But when I was like looking a couple of days ago at some of the ones I needed, I am like flabbergasted at how much these are worth now. Like some of them, it's just ridiculous. And like to the point now where I'm missing a couple of the big ones and I'm full of regret that I didn't just pick them up like a couple of years ago. And this is like the common trend that I keep seeing myself regurgitating every time I talk about cards. Is like the opportunity missed because I feel so priced out of some of these cards now because the prices are so ridiculous.
What kind of prices?
Like I'm missing the Gengar Prime, which is actually the one that's getting a reprint, which is great. But I kind of want the original, right, from the original set. But you're talking about like, and I'm collecting them in PSA 8, so that's like getting them even back like 5 years ago in PSA 9 or 10 was just still like it would have been way too expensive. And the ones that I had from my collection that I got graded all came back at 7s or 8s. So that was the happy medium ground. I want them for the artwork, just the collection. I'm not bothered about the grades. And the grades, that's probably as good as I would get anyway. But besides the point, if I want to get a Gengar in a PSA 8, we're looking over like to about 1,100 quid plus on just that card now. When
That's
about
mental.
5 years ago, 5 years ago, maybe even 3 years ago, not even that long ago, I could have picked that card up raw in decent-ish condition for like 100 quid. Easy, easy, you know?
I mean, that's the beauty of hindsight, though, right?
Yeah, always. But yeah, so it's nice that it is getting a reprint. But yeah, it's just everything's got crazy. And before we get into what we're going to talk about next,
I've still got more stuff to say.
Oh, okay. We'll get into that then. I just want to say, like, the prices of cards out the traps now in these new sets is nuts. It's crazy.
Mate, it's insane, isn't it?
I was listening to content creator Twice Baked J. I've listened to them for like years now. I love their content. I've followed along with all their stuff that they've done over the years. But he was talking about what he expects the price of some of the classic 30th collection cards, the big cards from that set, to come out the traps at on release.
I don't want to think about it.
How can like these cards have reprints for one, and like how can they be so much? We'll get into it when we talk about the set a bit later on, but I just think it's all gone such a crazy direction. I never ever expected it to go like as far as it has went now. And is this the kind of precipice of it, or is it going to continue just to go? You know, I don't know.
I mean, just so how I would probably equate it is, it will scale based off of how popular Pokemon continues.
Well, this is what I was going to say. Do you think it's a bubble? Do you think it's a bubble? Do you think it's impossible? Nah. It can't be a bubble because
I don't think it
Finance Bros are in the race now. So as you can tell, 11-year-old Finance Bro is there as well. But my point is, you know, I don't know. I feel like there's no hope in terms of the prices going down. No. I genuinely, because I just see the prices just scaling up until there's some action that's taken to control this, because clearly Finance Bros are pushing the market so much past what it should be, and there's no like repercussion for it. And that's where something needs to happen. Something needs to change. Someone needs to step in. But I don't know who's going to try to regulate that, because good luck. Have fun trying to regulate multinational borders on one of the biggest multimedia franchises in the world. So
it's rubbish, right? For actual like proper like true collectors of the hobby, right? It feels like you've got two options. If you want to pick a product now, I feel like there are two options. You either pay the scalper prices and pay through the nose, like double MSRP of what the product's actually worth, which some people might be happy about just to pick it up, right? Or you put in way more time and effort than you ever have needed to for anything, way more unnecessary time and effort to be on the lookout constantly for places that are stocking these and be on they're like your finger on the pulse all of the time. You were doing
no life,
nothing else, other than looking for stock updates from everywhere, from facets everywhere. And I know on the last video that we covered with me and Scott, when we were talking about it, there was a few people in the comments, which was really good to see, that they rely and they have got a good relationship with their local card store, and they can consistently pick a product from there. And I think that is like a real like kind of saving grace in this what seems to be a crisis at the minute in the TCG. But I think power to those stores, those people that are like making it possible for people that don't have those necessarily close by to them or have those relationships built up yet. Yeah, it's you've got two options, and I feel like it's then neither are a good kind of incentive to pull new people into the hobby, because new people are getting pulled into the hobby quite obviously for the monetary value that is there, right? Rather than the actual
The
what
point of
the
it.
base of like actually liking Pokemon and everything else, you know, alongside with it. So yeah, it's just a mess. It's just a
I feel
mess, and
like
it's
the
sad to see. But things are happening, I guess. So you know, things are being done, I guess, to help.
I feel like the pack opening shit live streams is fucking making it way worse as well.
Yeah,
Like the whatnot
the
and
eBay.
the eBay lives are now. I just like
Yeah. There's
anyway.
almost such a clamor for it, though, isn't there? Because
Oh, mate.
you know, if it
Who the
wasn't the
fuck's
demand for it,
Anyway, so I was looking for my phone, my fucking photos on my phone the other day, and found some photos. I'm going to talk about this on the podcast anyway, but I found some photos that have really depressed me. This is one of them.
All right, go on.
Oh,
Oh wow.
Okay.
Okay.
Let me lock the screen.
That is justified depression. I'm sorry.
No. It's both of them.
oh God, Scotty,
Oh, Stoddy boy.
why did you do it?
When was this? We see when this
Scotty
photo
didn't know.
that was taken on the 5th of April,
know.
2017. That was taken, and then the photo next to it was this one.
2017. Oh, what grade is that?
It's a PSA 8.
Oh,
I had the Shining Gyarados as well at an 8.5. I had the set. I would be very rich if I still had those cards.
So
would be, mate. He would be.
Pod 11 episode named Scotty didn't know.
Scotty didn't know. We're getting all photos up. I'm gonna pull some.
I know
of
what
my
you're
own
putting up.
You know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I've ever shown Costa these.
Well, go on.
So it would have been around the same time, Scott. We both made major boo-boos in our collecting.
Terrible life decisions.
Very terrible life decisions. Let me find them.
At least you're in positions to make them. I was so out of the loop.
It's better if you don't. It's better if you didn't ever make these decisions.
You wouldn't be feeling depressed.
Because I remember how much I sold these for as well, which was even more depressing. Because we were about to move house, so I was in at the point where I was like, I need to just get rid of some stuff, and the extra cash would be handy. And I was like, you know, I've had these for a while now. I'm just gonna clear out, because yeah, I can always pick them up again if I need to in future. So this is the first one. This was out 12th of July 2018. So there we go. There's a nice.
Oh,
that was pristine as well. I feel like that would have been a good candidate to maybe even grade, but it wasn't graded. It was just loose.
By the way, super quick, just because I've realized we're visually showing, but we're not audibly telling which cards and packs we're talking about.
This is a base set booster pack. It's a Venusaur pack from the base set of Pokemon, and I sold that for a meager £35.
So how much? Please, enlighten us with the comparison to nowadays prices.
I don't think it's worth doing.
You
may start crying.
No. We want to see that live on pod right now. Lee just breaking.
So for the audio listeners, I just showed the Pikachu, Poncho, Gyarados, and Magikarp Japanese promos that now graded are worth like 13 grand each. Which is so I had them. And a first edition Shining Gyarados and Shining Magikarp as well.
That's making me feel sick, mate.
That is physically sick. So it gets worse. I had a for the listening
Team Rocket
booster. I had the jungle boosters. The full
the
set of the
Flareon.
jungle. So the Flareon, the Scyther, and I had the Wigglytuff. And then on top of this, I also had a first edition Team Rocket booster pack as well. First edition stamp there. I don't know if you can see that if you're watching on YouTube. I also had, there's the Jigglypuff for the full art set of Jungle.
Is that a Wigglytuff or a Jigglypuff?
Wigglytuff, yeah. And then probably the worst things were these really rare blister packs I had of the fossil set. So
oh no, stop it.
And these were pristine condition. So there's one here, which is the Lapras, and that was just one single booster, fossil. And I had a Zapdos one as well. And these were like the pride of my collection. Now I sold those for like 40 quid each. And I've never even looked what they would be worth now. But I'm very sad. I was sad to lose them at the time, but it was a necessary thing I had to do. But I
have a question.
I hate to think what they're worth now.
Did you have these from your childhood, or did you buy these at some point when you got older?
No, I picked them up over the years, so they were just things that I but they were readily available on eBay. You could go on literally eBay and pick stuff up like that if you were wanting.
It's literally like that scene from Interstellar where he's like screaming at himself, so no!
Yeah.
What are you doing? No! Stop!
Buy them, don't sell them. Yeah, it's so they were just things I picked up over the years that I had. But yeah, when it was just coming to clearing stuff out, I was like, they were just taking up. I mean, they were booster packs, so they weren't taking up much room, but they were just lying around, and I was like, I can't see. I didn't have the foresight at the time to be like,
these aren't going to increase in value.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck, mate. I'm just looking at the fossil set now, and I had the Dragonite, I had the fucking Articuno. Oh, God. And these are doing
nice
like, okay, so
the sets. Yeah.
No, genuinely. So the complete set of the hollow fossil at the minute is $2,000. But this is the set. So
that's not awful.
It's not awful.
Doesn't sound terrible. I mean, it's a lot of money, but it doesn't sound terrible.
Yeah.
Considering how old the cards are.
Oh, I'll tell you that Lapras, the first edition fossil booster pack, at the minute, 420 quid. Sorry, 440 quid.
Is that the blister?
That is the 1999 blister.
Is it a blister? Is it?
Let me check. It's the original listing. I think this is it. It doesn't call it out, but I think this is it. I could be wrong. But this one's on eBay at the minute.
You know, my biggest regret about like actually selling them, it's not selling them for how cheap I sold them. Like, I wish I just opened them just to see what was inside them. You know, like I wish I just had the enjoyment myself of being like, I could open a base set pack, and instead of just selling it on, I should have just cracked them and just been like, yeah, let's see what's inside. There might have been a Venusaur inside.
The Zapdos is going for 500 quid.
Jesus, that's ridiculous. It's ridiculous, crazy.
So 10 times the price roughly of what you sold individual ones for.
Yeah, and they were nice collector bits. They were like really cool. But
I said it's kind of like just one more thing before we move on. I feel like it kind of evokes this like, if I get sealed product now, like I don't want to open it. Like it feels like a waste of money to open it.
Dude, that is literally. Sorry, I'll tell you what. I've told you guys before, and I think I've told some of my Greek mates as well. I have like a couple of drawers worth of packs and boxes that I've never opened, and I've picked up from the past couple of years of commentary as well as competing, and I still haven't opened up a single one. But it's always that thought, that thing that you identified there, Scott.
Yeah.
Is it worth opening it or not? And my wife, she keeps on saying, why are you not opening the packs? There could be such high.
But it's a minting box collectible. You don't understand.
No, but I'm just like, do I do it or do I not? Should I just do some? So I'm not sure.
Depends what you
It's
got.
always a regret, I think. Like if you open it, you'll always have regret. I should have kept it sealed.
Yeah, if you crack it and there's nothing in there, you're like, oh, fuck.
Yeah, it's gone.
Right,
You've
what
got
is it?
Cosmic Eclipse, haven't you?
Phantasmal Flames.
Yeah.
Nice.
Keep that sealed.
But this isn't the only one. That's the thing. So, you know what I mean? But
I don't even have a picture of that. I wasn't
neither
able
do
to
I.
get any.
no, because I gamed and I got results, Lee.
Oh yeah,
Free
you got them as prizes, didn't you?
I did.
Nice. Yeah, very good, mate. Have you got Cosmic
Let's see. I don't know. I might do.
from back when? I think from early commentating days, you might have.
Oh no, I
I know
sold
some of
mine.
our friends do. I know,
Yes,
and
we
I know a
some
few who
friends that
do.
do. Yeah.
You're not saying no names.
I'm not
wish
saying
it-
their names,
you
but
know,
I've told
I-
them. I've told them to sell them or give them to me.
I said I would buy them, and I said I would buy them about 2 years ago, and I wish I'd bought them 2 years ago because I was like, I'll give you market value because now that market value is like
Triple, quadruple. It's actually crazy.
yeah. But no, yeah, it's good if you got them.
But they are releasing. We mentioned it briefly earlier. But, I keep saying before we move on, but there's just we can ramble about this for ages. But they did release a teaser for the 30th anniversary set, which, like as I was saying to you boys before we started, it feels like this is going to become unobtainable. Yeah, with some of the cards in the set that they're releasing. Like I said, they're reprinting a lot of stuff, and then obviously you've got the big stamps on the front, and the main two is the Mew and the Mew and the Mewtwo, which, like Lee was saying, I don't even want to think about how much people are gonna charge for those. It wasn't those
It
two.
was the Crystal Lugia, which is getting a reprint from, is it Aquapolis, I think?
Propolis, like from my hometown. What do you mean?
No, the set Aquapolis. It's one of the e-reader sets from back in day.
Which, by the way, trivia, it means edge of the city. But sorry, yes, continue.
I like it. So that set, so the Crystal Lugia, I think is going to be a big one. And then, we'll have a look at all of the other, there's another one from the set, I can't remember off the top of my head, which would be a big chase, but the Crystal Lugia is probably going to be one of the main chase ones. I don't know how much the Charizard's going to be a chase. Oh, there's the Magikarp as well from Paldea.
Oh, is it? Is that the one?
Yeah, the Magikarp special illustration art is getting a reprint in this 30th anniversary set, which is having like all the people that are like obviously collecting that card are having a meltdown now about like, yeah, it's affecting the price.
Sounds like a you problem, bro.
Oof. Okay, harsh.
Yeah,
I've got the list. I've got the list.
Ah, there we go. Yeah. So we've got the Charizard, which is getting another reprint. There's some cool cards in here. The Sneeze,
that Dark Tyranitar, bro.
I've got
that is so sick, man. Oh, do you?
Yeah. The Ridge.
Oh, that's some Breakpoint. I remember playing that deck. I remember playing that fucking deck.
Break.
Oh, Fat Pikachu's back. Hello.
Oh, look, it's your favorite Pokemon.
Yeah, Gengar Prime.
Oh, the fucking these cards. Oh, these are Prime cards about. Oh.
Yeah. I've got some on my desk right now. Like there's one. There's an Ampharos one.
Oh, the Pokemon.
I wasn't lying.
They're doing shining cards as well. What?
Yeah, one shining, which is Shining Celebi. No Gold Star though.
Oh my god, that's adorable.
Bro, this set is gonna be fucking worth a fortune.
Oh my god, that was the Lugia. I just saw it.
Yeah, Crystal Lugia. I mean, that has been like a dream card of mine for the longest. So just be able to get it, even if it is a reprint, it's going to be really cool to hopefully be able to pick that one up.
I'm interested to see. Go on, sorry.
I was saying I don't imagine these to be that hard to pull if you can get the packs. I think because if you look at the
5 in a pack though, it's 5 in a pack, not 10.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
But then Celebrations was only like a small number per pack as well. So you've got more packs in
There's
the
only
ETB.
43 cards.
Yeah. I think the Celebrations was a very similar setup then because they were also smaller pack amounts, but the pulls in those were like this is my thing. I think yes, the cards might be worth more, but this might be one of these sets that they just print and print and print and print and print into the ground until there is so much there that it just absolutely floods the market and obliterates
I wonder
any
what
price. So
effect it will
anyone that
have
wants these can get
on the
them.
cards that the reprint of the I wonder what the effect it will have on the price of the original cards.
I don't think it'll affect them that much. Maybe put more eyeballs onto those older cards, which will mean that they may be more sought after.
Oh, so I see what you're talking about then, Lee. The strategy is to essentially pump the market
Just
with
print so much.
all of those rare ones. Yeah, print so much where essentially just resets
Especially
the
if
price.
it's a small set as well, then all of a sudden there's loads of the same card, right?
Wow.
Does that happen with celebrations, right? Because when celebrations dropped, and I know the market was in a completely different place to where it is now, but like those cards were like, you could pick up all of the chase cards for like relatively like good prices, you know, even like the Gold Star Umbrian that was in there, like you could get that £25, £30 for a long time. And it maybe creeped to around £50 at some point. The Charizard as well. I mean, that came out of the traps quite high, but then that dropped down. You could pick that up for relatively easy, but they also weren't that hard to pull as well. Like I've got 2 Charizards. I've got one for my binder set and one that I graded, and I pulled both of those. The majority of them were all pulls from, you know, ones from mine. So I didn't find it very difficult. I did get burnt with celebrations where I couldn't get the premium collection. And that's when and I've said it before, you know, on the pod, where that was the point where I was like, I'm going to just take a step back from being as active collecting as I currently am. Because I was just like, I don't like the fact that this product's come out and it's immediately unobtainable anywhere except eBay, where I have to pay double the price for it. And I'm just not willing to do that. And that was like the first time I've been like, And after that, I've been really casual with just picking up the odd thing that I really like, or just trying to get stuff as and when I can.
Maybe they've deliberately done this, like you said, not released a lot of cards and made it so that you're going to get 5 in a pack just to maybe try and stem the problem. Maybe this is part of a plan to be like, okay, they're going to be easy to obtain though. You can scalp them as much as you like, but the cards are going to be worth as much, so then you're going to be scalping nothing essentially.
Yeah. Potentially.
Because the celebrations ETBs you could pick up for a long time after, like 2 years plus after that set dropped, you know, and the other products that they released along with it. There'll be like a staggered release, I would imagine, of like the different products that are going to sell these cards and stuff. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they approach this one. Hopefully they just absolutely flood us with this set. You'd hope they would, being a big 30th anniversary set. But who knows how it's going to go down? We'll not know until it drops, but
we shall see. There's a lot to be theorized, but I guess talking about theories, I'm moving on to next topic.
I'm ahead of you, mate. I'm well ahead of you.
Oh, go on, Mr.
Just wait for it to fucking load, because my computer's having a poo right now. So as Costa was alluding to there, he's getting a bit ahead of the game. Pokemon have been like dropping a lot of hints to Hoenn-based stuff at the moment, as you boys were graciously explaining to me before the podcast began. We have this tweet here from Pokemon. Please handle Mudkip with care. I didn't realize Mudkip looked so cute and was that small, but this is very adorable.
I mean, they come in different sizes, but yeah.
They do come in different sizes. And then you had the Hoenn-based Pikachu plushies as well. From is this a Mega Ruby we have so far, or is this just the Hoenn ones?
I mean, I think
that's just the Hoenn outfit. But also not that, they've got so much new Hoenn themed merch on the Pokemon Center as well recently, and they did an article as well on the Pokemon website all about the Gen 3 games as well. So there was like a whole thing about revisiting Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald, which is kind of weird to just drop it. It was obviously not weird because it's to celebrate the 30th anniversary. It just seems weird timing with these kind of 3 posts, all the merch at the Pokemon Center. The weird Mudkip. Yeah.
What do you boys think it means?
Maybe, is it pointing to maybe ports of Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald coming to the Switch soon?
Potentially.
I said it to you, Costa. I'm in two minds because I'm like, they've got the engine there for Fire Red Leaf Green already, so we know that works on the Switch. That would be an easy port for them, right? We've got the supporting information that to date, Fire Red Leaf Green has made $80 million just from the re-release of those games.
Oh, really?
Nuts, right?
Oh my god!
There we go. He's
That's
finally
crazy.
Yeah, it's free money for them.
I can't.
But if you look at the wording when they released Fire Red Leaf Green, they said something along the lines of we released this version of the classic red, blue, and yellow games because these are the ultimate versions of the Kanto adventure, right? Which is true. They add a lot more than what the classic red, blue, and yellow games did. Big fan favorites because they're part of that Gen 3 cycle, right? Now I wonder if you're looking at the ultimate version of Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald, you would say Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire probably going to be
the first time they ported a game that isn't well, it'd be quite a new game to port, right? It'd be the newest game they've ever ported. Yeah.
3DS game, and that's where I'm like, my hang up is I'm like, maybe that's a step too far. So maybe we just see if they do anything the easy route, Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald, rather than Omega Ruby and Alpha.
I still don't understand why they don't re-release physical cartridge. I mean, we spoke about this way back on the original podcast. Why they don't re-release cartridges? Like they don't have to be exactly the same as the old one, but like people would eat it up. Like you don't understand. People would just like it would just be so sick. Like even if it was a special Switch cartridge, like just having a physical copy of it, being able to play, because like these file sizes on these games now, they're tiny, right? Anything up to the Switch, the file sizes are not big, right? Because they had to. No, so it was on cartridge, right? It all used to be in cartridge, so the file sizes aren't huge. There's no reason why they're not asking a lot. I'm sure the Switch cartridge has that capability. Or if they did an accessory that plugged in and let you slam it in, you know, I just feel like it would make so much money, and I would buy it.
It'd be interesting to see. You know, in Japan they had that special edition set that was the original boxes for Fire Red and Leaf Green.
Yeah.
A promo code, but it'd be interesting to see the sales figures for that and see how well that did. You know, it would. Yeah, I would love to see something like that, to have a physical cartridge again, even if it was just a Switch cart with them on. You know, that would be kind of like, I'd be happy with that.
I remember literally we were talking about that to the build-up of Fire Red Leaf Green, right? We were saying, because there was the sort of like the digital version that Japan was releasing, right? But yeah, it still ended up being like, oh look, you could get a digital thing through a physical thing. It's just like, no, just get the physical out, but obviously it just saves them more money. In the end of the day, just why would you go and waste money on physical when you could still be confident in your sales through digital means?
But it's not wasting money, because I feel like they could get higher margins with a physical release.
They'll still have to pay for it.
But at the scale they would print them. Like I feel like
but then I would
have been more inclined to buy the Fire Red and Leaf Green copy for the Switch if they had a physical version, because I haven't bought it, because I have the original copies. But if they had done a physical version, I probably would have bought it. And I feel like there's probably a lot of people like that to a certain extent.
Yeah.
Memorabilia goes hard.
That's what I mean.
So it'll be interesting to see with all this Hoenn talk whether or not
it would make sense with the Megas, right? Because with the Megas that we've got in Champions and with the next format coming out soon.
MB coming up very, very soon after NAIC. So it would make sense to kind of like, are we going to be getting, there's a lot of mega Pokemon in Gen 3, right? Big ones as well. It will be like meta defining. Salamence, Metagross, there's Mawile. I have to just mention Mawile.
Favorite.
There's Swampert as well, Blaziken, Sceptile as well. So there's like lots of megas in that generation, as well as like new megas that they could port from Legends EA that we've had introduced recently. And I think a good way to kind of even just hype everything up even more is to be like, oh, you can also play the original Gen 3 games on the Switch now, which have those new megas in them, like that are in Champions now that are featured and, you know, doing so well. So
you pointed out so elegantly, I think, before the pod, that like there's like nothing for the casual fan at the moment. Like they released it's almost like they released everything too quickly. You know, we had Fire Red and Leaf Green, and I know there's probably pressure to release Champions at a certain point, but we had Fire Red Leaf Green, and a week later we had Pokopia, and then not long after that we had Champions. So it was like people were really interested in Fire Red and Leaf Green, but then as soon as Pokopia come out, that all swapped to that. And then as soon as not long after Pokopia come out, then went to Champions, and it's like these games didn't get like almost like a good life cycle.
It's sort of like they're trying to facilitate different genre of consumers or like players at the same time within the same franchise.
But
yeah, I felt like that was just such a chaotic time as well. You know, it was just like almost when Champions came out, it was like I felt like I can breathe for a minute because I can just kind of sit back. I don't need to worry about these other things, and I can just enjoy Champions for a little bit and not have to worry for a while that
for the next new game coming out.
Yeah, but also at the same time, it's like had so many people as well, you know, talk about Legends EA, and since the DLC drop, it almost killed that game, the DLC. And we haven't had that many DLCs in Pokemon history, right? But I've never seen the reception of a DLC be worse for a Pokemon game that we've had.
It's been the worst one.
By such a long way, where people have played it and just put it down and never went back to see it after that, and just been like, that experience was terrible. There was nothing in that. It was like a terrible DLC. It's put people off the game. And I really think it's damaged ZA as a whole. I really loved ZA, and I probably will go back to it at a later date and play through it again. I loved it. I loved my experience with it. I enjoyed the DLC as well, but I can see where people are coming from with it. And it's so sad to see that, you know, this game that could have carried us through for maybe this next year because of the weight that we've got for Winds and Waves is just dead in the water, and it's just not doing anything. And we know we're not going to get any really further updates with it going forward either.
That's also down to their marketing plan, like in terms of, sorry, should I say the release plan? Because it did feel like ZA got overshadowed by Champions and all the other games that came out, which I understand is, you know, the idea of compatibility in order for it to give Pokemon through to Champions competitively, blah blah blah. But I don't know, it just feels like, do you still think if the DLC was average, or let's say even good, and they haven't planned another DLC that they've released news about, it would still be played right now?
I don't know. I think they needed another DLC with it, to be honest.
That's what I mean. Like, to follow up with the hype.
I think they needed another DLC. I think if there was another DLC to come, I still think there'd be hype there with it. I mean, it probably not played that much, but it gave room to like Pokopia and Fire Red Leaf Green and all that sort of stuff. But I do feel like with nothing on the horizon now, people are like, probably not going back to it. And there's the whole thing as well. I don't know if this has anything to do with this. Is a topic for a completely different pod, but the ease of shiny hunting in it, in one respect, it's great for people that don't have the time to shiny hunt. It's accessible to them. But in another respect, you know, the hardcore shiny hunters, I feel like it's almost like the opposite effect to them, where they don't feel like it's a challenge. And because of that, they're not really that invested in putting the time into that game, you know?
It takes a bit away from it, basically, through the effort.
Yeah. I think it's a bit of a double-edged sword how they've done it to kind of suit everyone. But I think there could have been, I don't know, a different way to maybe approach it. But yeah, like I say,
I feel like
they're
stalling until Gen 10 comes out, because it feels like they haven't put...
Has to.
Yeah, I know, but like it feels like they're everything they're doing at the moment
Winds and waves.
I don't know if this comes across as like rude on their behalf, but it feels like they just don't really care about anything at the moment, other than potentially just getting Gen 10 right. Everything feels like an afterthought, is what I was trying to say. Like, they've obviously got these things that they know they can release to stall, but it feels like they don't really care too much about the longevity of them, as long as they have stuff to periodically drip feed us until Gen 10 comes out. Does that make sense?
That's it. I mean, they put a lot of work in with the new megas, but megas are literally the one thing that are going to carry them through until Winds and Waves. And we've still got over a year to go, before, like, to me, I would say there is no better time than like this November. If you were ever to do a remake, is to drop a remake this November. If you were ever going to do one like of Gen 5, which everyone's clamoring for, I think it keeps that hype train, the Pokemon general train running, right? Where you drop Gen 5 remakes for the Switch in November time, and everyone's happy because you got that to play for a year. You've got the Pokopia DLC on the horizon. You probably have Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald coming. That is plenty for a year and a half to fill until Gen 10 comes out, in my opinion. But who knows what's on the horizon.
So a couple of quick things, at least in my mind, to touch there. I agree. There can be a lot of stuff that they can use in order to go ahead and ample and like the amount of time until Winds and Waves. But like we are sort of suggesting, you need to be able to spread them out in order to make sure that you have the most retention and just essentially profit off of it, and you're not having a couple of your different own games colliding with one another in what we saw was the chaos with the 30th anniversary stuff, which it did feel like, yes, it's cool having the interweb connection of, oh look, they're linked in different ways, but then like it also hurts if it's like such a short duration window of release. But also my point was to sort of the idea around, oh, okay, they're just going ahead, getting the game out. They're saying, right, we're just going to test trial it with one DLC. If that goes well, sure. And then they will probably decide for a second one, or they'll have some plans on the side, but they may not like initiate it straight away, because we have to remember, these are different game pipelines that we're discussing. So like, even though we're saying, oh, okay, they don't, what's next, it feels very dead right now. Like, we still have to appreciate that this kind of effort and budget they've probably got to work with is finite. And especially when it comes to support teams hanging on for a period of time after on the same project. We're talking about potentially 6-7 game projects as a whole, if we're including remakes and even like ports and stuff.
I think it's very easy for us to sit here and be naive about how we think a company works, when obviously the intricacies of a company, it's very complex, and I'm sure there are loads and loads and loads of things that we do not understand, and there are probably I'm sitting here saying this feels like an afterthought when they could have this big master plan. It's not fair to necessarily say that, but I think one of the reasons, I think you're right, Costa. Obviously, they do have different departments and different pipelines and budgets, which is fair enough. I respect that, but with the amount of money that Pokemon seems to make, I don't know what their yearly expenditure is. Maybe they're losing money, but it's just with the Pokemon cards alone, I feel like they must be making I feel like they're making more money than they could possibly think about spending. That any excuse for them not having the budget to sort something out is just insane.
It's more so my point of where they're allocating the budget.
Yeah,
but their biggest thing is a new game to bring new Pokemon.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying, though.
Yeah.
They're focusing on Gen 10 rather than everything else.
Yeah.
Is it not also like a thing as a fan of this franchise that we've been conditioned to expect something new more regularly than because if you're a fan of like the Zelda franchise, right?
You're not getting one for ages.
Yeah, you know that it's going to take a long time to develop these games, and you're probably looking, near on a decade between like big main series titles, right? Might be a bit shorter here and there, but realistically, you're looking at around that sort of time frame, right?
Mhm.
With Pokemon, I think, especially like over the years, we were conditioned to expect a game every 3 years and maybe a remake in between there, right?
True.
So is that something where that, and it hasn't been communicated from the Pokemon's company directly, which I think it probably would have benefited them more if they come out and communicated a bit better than what they have to the fan base and saying, this is our roadmap of what we're looking at going forward. Be aware that we have had this schedule for, a long time now, but this is not going to be sustainable going forward on new hardware, on the new systems. So we're looking at like doing this sort of thing with the Legends series every so often, and then we're going to have a new generation, which is going to take a lot longer. Whereas because we haven't had that, there's the constant speculation of, are we going to get a remake? Are we going to get this ported, that ported? Because we're expecting something, and we've been conditioned to want more and more and more all the time because that is what was served up to us for so many years consistently, right? But again, it's not feasible to do that now because we saw with Scarlet and Violet, BDSP was another one. These games released and they weren't like a polished article because they were probably pressured from all different angles to get them out before they were ready. But that's the best they could do with the time they had. So I guess Winds and Waves, we've said it many times before, it needs to be the polished article. And it feels like, because it's going to be that extra year than probably what everyone was expecting it to be released in, it's going to be, hopefully, and it's going to be really exciting. But yeah, the whole thing, is it not like like that we've been conditioned to be like that? And maybe it's one of those where we're a bit more aware of it, then we stop wanting. I'm guilty of it myself, I'm constantly craving new Pokemon content to digest and play and enjoy, but yeah.
I think what you said has hit the nail on the head there, really. I think there is this expectation, and realistically, they just need to come out and be more clear about their release schedule. But I also do think that we are almost in that transitional phase where we're getting to a stage now, at least with this game in particular, Wind and Waves. We've waited. How long will it be by the time it comes out? 5 years between the release of the two games.
When was Scarlet and Violet? Was 22?
No, it wasn't 5 years. No. That's like 22 or 23. Scarlet
and Violet was 22, right?
I think it was 22. Yeah, because 21 was coming back from COVID.
So what I'm saying, by the time it's released, it'll be 5 years, right? That's what I'm saying. If it comes out next November.
22. So yeah, if it's next November, it'll be 5 years. Yeah.
All right, spot on.
So
just 2 years more than any previous
But like we could
generations.
I feel like after this gen, there is the potential for it to be like, I feel
another
like the expectation, the expectation should be another 5 years.
Yeah.
And that's
for sure.
Yeah, like I said, once we get past that hurdle, I think that it's just what it's going to be like, at least in my head, with whatever they can in between, whatever they want to do. Like I said, I'd rather them release a really good, well optimized, polished game every 5 years than pumping out games for the sake of pumping out games.
But so I feel like that's probably a byproduct of having a lot more side projects concurrent in development to their main baseline releases. So, for example, they clearly said and kind of made a direct or indirect statement of, we're willing to invest in additional side projects in order to put the main one back for quality, for this, for that, for reasons, whatever. But like they're trying to diversify to get all angles and genre of end user consumers, right? And build them all up, get them involved, and say, hey, you're into this now. Cool. Guess what? New Pokemon are coming in 1 or 2 years from now. Or like maybe it's like this whole rota in terms of a roadmap that has all individual side games that are trying to holster up and hype up the main one as like an end result of, hey, we can maximize profit by doing this and truly have better development treatment dealt onto the game. But also, final point, I guess, to what was it? I think we're talking a bit about. Oh my god, I've lost my train of thought. But I think it was just predominantly around the fact that things are taking longer for a reason. Oh, that's right, communication. They're famously not known to be good at communication in terms of, you know, like letting the fans know of roadmap stuff, or, you know, even hints of things which are like pure honesty with the fan base. Like they're not. It's not
I
how
think
they
it's
roll.
difficult, right? Because they don't want to give.
Maybe it's a cultural thing. I don't know what it
Yeah,
is.
it might be like a
Maybe.
Japanese thing, but I think the problem is that you don't want to come out and say, okay, in the next 5 years, right? So Wind and Wave comes out and they have this big presentation. They go, okay, no main series game for the next 5 years, but in the meantime, we're going to release a Legends game in 2 years' time. We'll do a DLC for that. Then we'll do a DLC for Wind and Waves. Then we'll do a Legends game, some DLC for that, and then that's going to be your maybe a remake in between. If they give specific dates to that, they're going to put themselves under a lot of pressure unless they've specifically given them dev time to have this backlog and they know that the games are ready and they've basically just got polishing time after the release of the main series game. I think locking themselves to a specific date is going to, like you said, put them under pressure, which is essentially kind of what they've been under now, right? Where they said Champions is coming out and they almost felt pressured to drop it rather than, you know, maybe spend more time up. Not that there's it's
Yeah,
been
but they almost
poor...
did that to themselves. Sorry to cut in, because they announced at last Worlds that Champions would be on the next Worlds, so they were like already on a deadline to get that out before.
Yeah, maybe they felt that pressure because they knew that Wind and Waves wasn't coming out until, you know, 2 years after that. So it must be a difficult balancing act for sure. Like I said, they've notoriously had that. Like we get a lot of content in a short period of time, and I think they're trying to shift our attitudes towards that.
I agree with not giving dates, but you know, like how Marvel used to do the whole graphics where they'd say, "Oh, hey, look, these are the next titles or rough stuff, rough projects." They don't need to give too much detail, but these are the rough sort of projects that we've got coming down the line. You don't need to put a date.
No,
you can just put some tiny image or some, I don't know, template showcase thing of this is a thing that's going to happen. This is going to follow a sequel of ZA. This is going to be this. This is going to be that. Just do that. Give us some sort of graphic. Don't tie yourself down to dates. We saw how very close to failure of an example we saw with Champions coming out, and that's not anywhere near any developer wants to go to. It's like, you know, it's danger zone, but give some sort of visual.
Yeah, I think like that is the way they could do it without just being like, this is a signpost and this is the direction we're going. So you've got a rough idea of what we're working towards, and then this will be what to expect in the future. When it's ready, sort of thing.
Just being in the dark completely, I get it. It doesn't give a lot away. Maybe it makes people feel like, oh, okay, something surely must be coming down the line. But then that also conditions us, to your point, Lee, where we're always sort of like, oh, when's the next thing? And we have overinflated expectations, and then we get disappointed.
All you're basing your expectations off is like past events, and those past events have always come around at a very quick turnaround. So you're kind of like in this mind of, oh, well, something should drop soon, and then comes around and doesn't, and you're like, well, it didn't drop then, so it's going to drop, you know, in the future. And it's all just speculation. One way to get around it, though, if we're moving on to another topic or anything else, is what, you know, we've had a lot of collaborations recently with Lego and Pokemon, right? Just release a Lego Pokemon game. There we go.
Bro, you know that would sell
Lego
like
Pokemon
hotcakes.
game. Oh my god, mate!
Could you imagine? That would be. I think that would.
All the Lego games do so well. Like, look at the Lego Star Wars games.
Oh, we did off camera, yeah. I can say it now because it's officially out. Sorry, I was able, and I've got credits going. So this is very tiny tangent. Lego Batman. I had been working on that. That game's releasing soon, and woo, Fusion. To Lee's point there, off camera, we discussed it, and we were sort of saying, "Oh my god, how crazy would it be for Lego Pokemon?" And to your point as well, they have started the collaboration. Obviously, we had that release of the extortionate amount of Lego. What was it? It was the starters, wasn't it? Like the final Evo starters.
Yeah, they did a Pikachu and Eevee. They also did a Charizard, Blastoise, and Venusaur, and they've just announced some more ones
They're
for the
on their
30th
website
anniversary.
already.
Yeah, they've got a Mewtwo one which looks insanely cool. They got a few new ones as well, which very cool. There we go. Gengar and Cubone.
I gotta be honest, I think they look shit.
Do you? I love the Mewtwo one. I think looks great.
I think some of them look good.
Mewtwo.
Some of them I think look just a bit too odd to me, to be honest with you.
All I saw was the Gengar. And the Mew, to be fair.
Probably a lot of them are for a younger audience as well. There are obviously those.
We forget that is, believe it or not, the target audience of Pokemon.
Wait, what?
For all of them, mate. Some of those Legos, they're gonna take some. I would be very impressed if a very young person could put together those bigger builds. But
it depends on how many pieces we're talking.
I think what was the one for the Venusaur, Charizard, and Venusaur? I think Austin did it on his channel. It was a lot of pieces. It was a lot.
I'll get it out.
About like
this is how much? £580,
mate. That's why I said extortionate start. Okay,
that's crazy.
I said it for a reason.
So was it like over 5,000 pieces? I think
6,838 pieces. That's crazy.
What?
That's actually crazy.
That's
the price per piece, which Austin argued is actually like not
money
bad
for value.
In comparison to like other Lego sets. So yeah.
I mean, this one does kind of look sick. I'm not gonna lie.
It does look awesome. It's huge as well. So, but I mean, yeah.
I was completely wrong. Made for adults. Specifically, the epic diorama model kit made for adults.
Probably the only thing that's calling that out in any single Pokemon piece of product.
I think there's a big the Pikachu as well is quite hefty size as well. The Pikachu, which is also quite the Pikachu. Yeah, that's how much is that one?
Not as bad. 180. This has 2,000 pieces.
2,000.
Oh, 2,000. But that's feral size as well. That's cool. Yeah, I like the stand that it comes on as well. I think the Charizard fits on that stand, if I'm not mistaken. You can put the Charizard on it as well, which is kind of cool. So yeah. Yes. But yeah, a Lego Pokemon game. That's what we need.
Insane.
That would be so much fun. That would be so much fun. That would be great.
I would love to be involved in that game development. That would be insane.
Right. Moving on, because I feel like we could ramble on about this stuff for ages. We've still got a few more things we need to cover.
Come on, then.
Indianapolis, we had one of the first Western regional on Pokemon Champions happened over the previous weekend, which was Indianapolis. Very exciting. I dipped in and out a little bit, and I haven't watched any of the Asian stuff that the Asian streams that they've been doing, but obviously I've played Champions, but as a viewer, there's a spectator mode now, and it looks. Obviously, we had it on Sword and Shield. We didn't have it with Scarlet and Violet, but I think it looks great. It looks really good. I think from a viewer's perspective, it looks. I know there's an argument to say that there are parts like Scarlet and Violet on Switch 2 does look good, but I really do like the style and the way that it looks on Champions. And yeah, I'm happy with the direction that it's going in. To be honest with you, I don't know how you guys feel.
Yeah, I mean, I thought the whole event it ran from a broadcast perspective really smoothly, really well. Spectator mode looks exactly like you would want a spectator mode to look like, and there wasn't a Mega Gengar in sight. I mean, we kicked off round one of Swiss on day one with a Mega Gengar, but I mean, yeah, it performed as well as what I expected it to do in the entire event, and that was lose.
But
So
they didn't have Costa behind, like, you know.
Thank you, Scott. That was my
so.
point. I wasn't able to make Indy, unfortunately.
Yeah,
You
I
know?
did swiftly message Costa off the back of last week's episode after that round one.
That was very
So
funny,
cheeky, mate. Like, literally, he didn't even hesitate. It was just, I had it on the side, and it just happened. He's like,
I checked the Discord, and there was all these messages, and I was like, "What is going on?" They were just beefing in the Discord server.
I think I messaged before game 2 was even over because I was like, I the writing's on the wall here.
It's doomed.
It's done. But
oh god,
yeah.
that's hilarious.
And our picks got the Charizard Y, the Floette, winning the whole thing with Arsal.
Dude, like, it was very close to not winning. Let's be real.
Dude, I don't know.
It was the only one in top 4.
Wolfie.
That duo. No, wait. That duo was the only duo on one team in the top 4. Okay. Yes. So.
Well, we weren't trying to call like dual mega team. We were just saying.
No, you were literally calling that, or at least
wasn't calling it dual mega.
No, Lee was. Lee said, "Oh well, since I can't choose Mega Charizard, why? I'll go Mega Floette." Yeah, or something like that. I don't know.
Something crazy like that. Yeah, but something neither of you predicted was Mega Steelix.
No, didn't see that.
Because our boy Wolfie almost won a tournament. He went 10-0 on day 1. And then almost won the whole tournament with fucking Mega Steelix.
Yeah.
And a Swords Dance Talonflame.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Crazy.
No tailwind, yeah.
Absolute psychopath.
Yeah, really cool team. I loved it.
There's some cool teams here, like looking at the results. Like there's a lot of variation. Like I know everyone's like, oh, it's paid to win because Mega Floette won. But if you look at the top 8, I think there's good variation. I know there's a defined meta still, and there always will be whenever you're playing a competitive game. But for like the variation that you can see here, like it's enough to keep it interesting in my opinion, anyway.
Oh yeah, by a long way. I think it was a really good.
Two Mega Frostlass, no, 3 Mega Frostlass in the top 8.
Yeah,
they did have a bit of a dip, but they are making a bit of a resurgence.
Mega Frostlass was like under the radar coming into this tournament, and definitely was probably the biggest surprise Mega I think of the event. It was
Mega Gyarados. Oh my god, in 9th place!
And the Mega Garchomp as well. I think was
Mega Garchomp is insane.
Wasn't where was the Mega Chomp?
It was MJ in
MJ, yeah. That was a cool team as well. MJ, yeah.
But there's your Mega Gengar. Look, there it is. Came 31st.
Top 32, baby!
Wow.
That's 160 CP.
There you go.
That's a lot of CP.
Here we go. 31st, was it?
Here we go. Hey, mate, I was not there, okay? And some very high-level parish users weren't there as well.
Yes.
That's all I'm going to say.
Hey, Wolfie was there.
Yeah, that's true. That is actually such a good point. Yeah. Well played.
There's another one. Look, there's 2. Look, there's 2 whole Gengars, 87 point.
I was actually thinking that when I was watching it at the weekend. I was like, the counter argument to Costa, not being there and that it was literally probably the best Perish song user in the world is Wolf, right? And if he's deciding to come to a tournament not to use it, then I mean that just speaks volumes. It wasn't the call for this tournament.
Not for this one.
Was it?
No, it's the call to beat you.
It was. You did say it was the call for this tournament.
I said it's the call for this meta.
You said this tournament. We asked you this tournament.
You said for the meta.
No,
we said which is the best Mega Evolution. And I answered,
what do you expect to do well in Indy? And your answer
I said well. I didn't say
Gengar.
the best. I didn't say it's its tournament.
Hmm?
I didn't say it's Mega Gengar's tournament.
We could literally go back and clip this. Don't talk your way out of this, mate.
All I'm gonna say was there weren't the people that were supposed to be there using the Mega Gengar that they should have. Okay, Wolf abandoned ship. Okay, sure. I've sent him a DM saying how disappointed I am that he wasn't using Mega Gengar to prove my point.
Yeah.
And he hasn't responded.
Hopefully, I think in a short period of time we'll have this we'll have this match.
Yeah, we will. This week
have this match.
It's going to happen. It's going to happen. It'll be next week on the channel. But let's before we get into that, we've just got to credit ourselves for how well they played in that final. They were insanely good. They just put the pressure on and got the turns, every turn correct, and just played magnificently. And a huge credit to them. And great to see them winning the regional, getting the world's invite, locked up, and yeah, looking forward to seeing more of them in champions as the season goes on. So yeah, it'd be great.
Yeah, I mean, and the composition as well. Let's be real. I think the biggest thorn in Wolf's side with that matchup was the Venusaur.
Oh yeah,
Like,
yeah.
the Venusaur, mate, it just did too much in that matchup. As long as you connect with Sleep Powder, you're fine. Yeah.
The Veno was very, very strong.
Yeah, it is crazy.
Incy as well played its part, I think, you know. But yeah, the Venusaur was just, and how well they played it, and the calls, like the solar beam, man.
That was so
solar
raw.
beam like into the T-Tar in game 2. That was just like wild.
And there's so many mind games going into it. Right?
Yeah. I loved it. It was a great set, and no, well done to all the players, because I think there's some like, even like Michael Zhang's team. I think that one's probably one that we'll see more of going forward. I feel like that's a really good, strong meta kind of team. But yeah, there's lots coming out from Indy, and I think
we have Turin coming up as well around the corner.
And that's the exciting thing. Like, what will the impact of this event be on Turin? You know. And should we play the game again with Turin coming up this weekend? Are we going to make calls about what mega we think is going to win? We can only pick one mega each. We can't pick the same one.
I'll tell you what, we can't put the same one. That's good. That's good. That's good.
What do you mean that's good? That's what I said last time, and you guys started kicking up a fuss.
No, we can't choose what we chose last week.
So you did pick Mega Gengar for Indy.
I'm with you. Okay, so it's going to be Mega Haunter.
That's not a Pokemon.
Hey, Haunter could be Mega. You know, don't put him down.
Okay, I'm gonna go with Mega Frostlass, given the rise it's had in this regional.
Shout, good shout.
I know what Lee's gonna go with. I already know it.
What do you think?
So I know it's Mega Tita. No, I know it's gonna be Mega Tita.
No, it wasn't actually, mate. I'm actually gonna think about it for a minute while you go for yours.
All right, cool. I do want to call out before I give my decision that there was quite a bit of rise of sand.
It was.
Yeah.
So for that reason, I am gonna go for Mega Charizard X.
Okay, I respect that. I like it. I think it definitely has its flaws.
Wait, you respect it. Let me find something you don't respect.
Okay.
No, you've locked your answer. Come on, Lee.
You locked it, yeah. I think I'm kind of in two minds with where I go with this. I think there's a part of me that wants to go one way, but I think I'm gonna go another way, maybe.
It's Delphox. Go. We know it's
I am really leaning towards the Delphox, you know. I do think it could have the potential to do. I do have strong beliefs about Delphox. I think it's really, really good, but it's obviously got its you need to build up around it really effectively for it to function well. And I think a dual mega team probably works a little bit better with it than on its own.
Well, you need to avoid Mega Titars as well, which clearly are on the rise. So,
but I'm actually going to say, I'm going to go with my first initial thought. I'm going to say Mega Dragonite.
Cool.
Yeah.
Locked in. Right.
Wait, stop. Wait, pause.
Also, you don't hear that. You don't hear that much, do you, mate?
I feel like it's probably not gonna get top 8.
Ooh, that is a big call.
I don't think it is.
Yeah.
I don't think it is, because I genuinely feel like Sand's going to rise a bit. And we already know Europe is more balance-based. So
very balance-based. Yeah.
I don't know. Before I forget, stop. Which one did you lock in with? Did you say sorry?
Mega Frostlass.
So Mega Frostlass, we've got Lee with a Mega D-Knight.
Dragonite, yeah. Cool.
And then got myself with, which one did I say? Mega Charizard X.
Yeah.
Okay.
Locked
the
in.
record has written it.
Locked in.
Let us know in the comments what you think. What you think is going to do well.
Yeah. And also getting about the comments, we did.
Yeah, well, that's you're ahead of the game.
I'm already ahead of it.
Ahead of the game.
You want to ask them this week as host, and then we can get into them. But
yeah, man.
Yeah, baby.
So we had a few questions this week. Some great questions. The first one, which you boys will know the answer to this, maybe I'm saying it wrong, from GTech2186. He says, what is the correct pronunciation of Archaludon?
Okay, pause. Pause right now. Lee.
Yeah.
How'd you say it?
Well, I mean, Scott, you pretty much nailed it, mate. Archaludon.
Not. Yeah. I don't know how else you could say it.
Are you sure it's not Archaludon?
No, I'm pretty sure it's Archaludon.
But you boys should know. You boys should know this.
Yeah.
So arc, right? Because it uses
I
the
feel like you're stirring the
arc.
pot. You're just stirring the pot for no reason. You know it's correct.
They figured me out. Can't even stir the pot anymore.
Yeah.
We've had too many pot episodes together.
Yeah, I think you just need to, if you ever struggle with it, just think of Duraludon and then just, Archaludon, Duraludon as a good play.
He's excited for the match. Sorry, they are excited for the match as well. So it's coming. It's coming soon.
It's coming.
Oh, we can announce very quick. Since this episode is going to go out Friday, right?
Yeah.
We can say that Lee and myself are commentating at Turin this week.
Yes, yeah. It should have been announced by the time the episode goes out. So
exactly.
yes.
Oh, exciting. Very exciting.
So what we might do is see if we could try to get a recording in a more dramatic stage of our showdown.
You need the face reaction as well. You can't just have we need player cams. Even if it's on your phone. Even if it's on your phone. Need something.
Selfie mode. Just pop it on the screen.
We'll settle this rivalry.
I think that'd be so fun if you just had it directly underneath you, just looking up at your nostrils, just
get the quadruple chin.
See the sweat dripping down your face onto the camera.
Lee.
Right, so that was one. We've got one more question, then we can wrap up this episode. Because it has been we've been rambling for a long time tonight.
In a doozy.
We had a question from PPhil-D5V. He said, this is in regards to Wind and Waves, these questions. What new forms do you think we'll see in Wind and Waves alongside a new mechanic? What are your thoughts? What comes to the top of your head?
I guess there are two questions there.
Yeah, there's two questions there, for sure.
So let's start with forms then.
What new forms?
I feel like they'll probably do regional forms, right? They'd love to do that. It's something they've been doing since Gala.
Well, we didn't get regional forms in.
We got divergent.
We got convergent.
What does that mean?
Convergent. That's right.
So they're more.
That's a follow-up question. He said, "Will we see any convergent species or regional variations returning?"
Okay. I would love to see regional variants. I think, but I think there'll be more conversion forms going forward. It seems to be that's what they're concentrating more on. But who knows? They might go back and flip the switch, and we might have a regional form.
I guess
Hisui forms are kind of a regional variant, aren't they?
They are. They're literally called Hisui.
Yeah. So I guess to give the definition between them both, regional variants are divergent evolutions, and convergent evolutions have different ancestors. So that is why we see convergent. Let's say, what is it? The Dud trio? What's it called?
Wug trio, yeah.
Wug trio, yeah. That's why we see Wug trio being a different thing, right?
I see.
And it looks completely different and all that stuff. But then regional variants are just literally, oh, hey, this is an Arcanine from Hisui.
Yeah.
Yes.
How broken are the Hisui in Pokemon, man? I feel like someone that worked on those PLA games is getting a grilling off the comp team, being like, why did you create these Pokemon they're all ridiculously broken?
Well, we got Sneasler, we got the Basculegion, obviously. We
haven't even got Ursaluna in the in yet, and that thing's I guess Braviary never really
took off, did it?
No.
Was it Esper Wing signature move?
Yeah, Esper Wing.
Hisuian Typhlosion was quite good for a while in Scarlet.
Still good.
It still is. It still is, to be fair. Yeah, that's good.
Without the choice specs, it lacks a bit of damage, but
yeah.
Any ideas on what you think the mechanic might be for Gen 10?
10, 10. I've heard.
Oh wait, did
rumors
we
on
even
that-
answer the variant question?
So what new forms we see in winds and waves?
Oh, which Pokemon? Is that what the question is? Like,
Ooh.
which new forms are we expecting? Because I feel like we haven't given a.
If we're talking about forms, I reckon we're due an evolution for sure. That feels like a definite. That's an evolution, but I guess I don't know. I feel like we're definitely due a new type.
I want to see.
Let's say one regional and one convergent each. Which one would we want?
Okay. Right. Okay. Regional and convergent each. I want it based on kind of what we know the region's going to be like, very island based, I guess. So I'm going to try and theme it around something there. Maybe a sun and moon, a Lola Pokemon might be a good one to incorporate.
Oh, I've got one for regional.
Yes,
I would like an Abra Kadabra Alakazam.
Oh, that's a really cool shout. That is a really cool shout. And a Gen 1, I think it definitely has legs to potentially happen, because they do love a Gen 1 Pokemon.
Yeah, like Raichu and stuff like that.
Yeah.
What about like we had the convergent Regidrago and Regieleki. What if we had like maybe like a convergent Tapu or something?
Yeah, that would be sick.
Be quite sick.
Or like, yeah, that would be cool. I'm gonna say for my regional form, because there's a Pokemon that's never really had anything over the years, is Drowsy and Hypno. I'm gonna say for my regional form. A little bit along the lines of yours, Costa. And for my conversion species, I am gonna say Miltank.
I was thinking Gen 2 as well. That's a nice one.
I'm also thinking Gen 2.
Oh, wow. You can tell we're all old timers. God damn.
Yeah. You know what I want to see?
Well.
Marco.
Shut up, my boy.
Yes.
To be fair, you're right. So would that be convergent or a regional for you, Scott?
I feel like it would be a regional variant. I don't feel like it would be a convergent.
Could be. It could be Schmuckle.
Schmuckle.
Just like you, just like Lee's gonna be when he loses to Mega Gengar.
Oh, you on his side? Oh my god!
I had to choose. I had to figure side there for a second. It's more entertaining to join Costa's side. So,
wow.
There's that friendship gone. Out of the window.
There we go.
Okay, cool.
Wow. Some great questions this week, though.
Yes.
Some excellent questions. Thank you so much, both of you, for leaving the questions. If you're listening right now, talking to you, you made it this far.
Wow.
Please consider. Well done. You made it to the end. I think we've been going on for almost an hour and a half now. Please like the video. If you're listening on Spotify, give us a follow. Give us a 5-star rating, please. Recommend it to your friends. If you're in the circle, let us know. Let your friends know.
Magic Circle.
And drop a comment down below. Let us know what you want. Any question you have, any suggestions of what you might want to see in a future episode. Any questions for me? Any questions for Lee? Any questions for Costa? Also, let us know who you think is going to win this battle between Costa and Lee, because I don't know. I think you've both got a good chance. I'm gonna play both. I'm gonna play both sides. I'm gonna be political. I'm gonna say it'll be interesting. I have a feeling it might be very one-sided, but I do think you both have a good chance. I'm not gonna say which side is one-sided. I'm just gonna say it may be very one-sided.
Oh, okay. All right,
So,
that gives us something at least.
Any thoughts? Anything you'd like to leave us with, boys, before we end the podcast?
No, just a big shout out to all the listeners. Thank you. Just echoing Scott's words, if you made it this far on the podcast, very much appreciated. And get those comments in. Just drop them down in the comment section, and we do love reading them through the week, and then being able to kind of get to them on the pod and then feature them as a little section, which is, I think, a little exciting and gives us a little bit of interaction with you guys. But other than that, no, looking forward to Turin. If you're watching it, I hope you enjoy it. And pass it over to Costa before we finish.
Yes.
Yes.
I feel.
Sean
Yes.
Connery.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
darling.
Yes.
Okay. So.
Costa.
Oh, wait now, my love.
That's it.
Right. So, I don't think I have anything more to add on to what these lovely two gents have already mentioned. So, thank you very much. I guess the only final point would be that final question was like 2 questions. So, I think the gimmick we had discussed in a previous episode,
Ooh,
Mhm.
and it was revolved around what was it? The some dude. No, not was it like what was it? What did we say that it
Like
was?
an amalgamation of like all of the
Oh,
things.
fusion, maybe like type fusion or something like that.
We did talk
Or
about fusion,
we
yeah.
did, didn't we? I think,
Yeah.
yeah. So,
Yeah. It's
um,
like something that they've done in the past already with like odd Pokemon here and there, like Kyurem, like
Kyurem and
Paras.
stuff. Yeah,
Yeah, so they could delve deeper into it.
into a gimmick or something
Yeah.
like that. But
Kind of
yes,
cool.
that is my final point. Although Scott
It's
has
a
his
good one.
hand up, so polite.
I know we've discussed forfeits for this little battle. I think
Oh yeah.
I think the loser
Mm-hmm.
should have to dress up for one pod episode as their Pokemon of choice.
Oh, what?
Of the other player's choice, yeah. So if I win, I get to choose what Pokemon Costa dresses up as, yeah.
I think it surely has to be the Pokemon that he's
The
lost
Pokemon we're
to.
talking about.
Yeah.
And vice
Yeah.
versa.
Yeah.
What I need to do
So if
if I
Costa
lose,
loses, he's got to do Mega Charizard.
Mega Charizard
If you
and
lose, you've
Floette
got
at
to
the
do
same time.
Mega
What the
Gengar.
hell?
Okay, yeah, fair enough. I'm down for that.
You know what? I'd love to see Lee as a
Yeah.
Mega Gengar.
I think you've got to get face paint.
I think
Painted for the episode.
face paint for sure. For sure. That's a minimum.
Minimum, yeah.
All right. I know Lee's a busy guy, so I'll give you enough time for you to get your Mega Gengar cosplay sorted.
All right, mate.
So...
I've got a daughter. She's got
I was
all
going to say, you do makeup and
so
everything.
you're ready. Perfect. All right, get ready then. Next week, we're going to be seeing Lee.
You're going to be struggling. You're the one that's going to be struggling, mate. Yeah.
Let's see.
Get on the Amazon Prime order. Get that ready.
Order it now.
Get it in your basket, ready to click.
We shall see. I'm not sure how we're going to post the match itself, like if it's going to be in the stead of next pod's episode or if it's going to be part of it. We'll try to figure it out.
Let's see what kind of content
We'll see how it
from
goes.
it, and then
Yeah.
we'll but yeah, thank you guys for listening, and for now we will see you in the next episode. Goodbye.
Easy. Bye bye.